Welcome to the Somerset Roundtable. I'm John Rothwell and joined by my co-host Shannon Martin.
Hello.
Our show is a spin-off of the Positively Somerset Facebook page. The intent of the show is to communicate, inform, and highlight all things happening in town, as well as discuss local events and issues that allow citizens, businesses, owners, nonprofits, and town department heads to have a voice. Now over to my co-host Shannon, who will introduce our guest and show topic.
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks for having me, John. And I'm pleased to welcome today one of our selectmen, Dave Berube, who's going to be speaking with us about the upcoming Spirit of Somerset Family Fun Day. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, John. Thanks for having me. That's great to be here.
Glad to have you here.
Great. Why don't we start off, if you don't mind, with some history before we talk about the event itself on Saturday the 17th. Can you tell us some history about the event and maybe how you got involved?
Sure. This started when John McAuliffe was involved with the Main Street renovation. They did the sidewalks and the gas lamps. There was a grant that they did, and then John and Georgette Mandeville wanted to have a celebration, so it was called Main Street Celebration. That was back in 2001.
Okay.
It was so successful that John and Georgette kind of carried it further and did it for many more years, and it became into the Spirit of Somerset. Of course, John moved on, and then we had, I believe, Bill Mean was the next so-called chairperson or the person that ran the event. Then it went over to Steve Silverman one year, went over to Richie Sylvia from the rec department one year, and then Don Setters and myself took it up after that, and that for me, that was 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So I've been a chairman of this for the past 4 years, and it has grown every year to where it is today, and it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, and basically we look forward to having another great year coming up in a few weeks, a couple weeks actually.
Excellent.
It certainly helps promote everything in town. And
yes.
It's a free family event.
Right. That's something that this committee is really proud of, and the fact that it is free. The Marshfield Fair was last weekend, or I should say last week. You got the Big E, which is over in Springfield, and I go to all these. The Topsfield's coming up, and then the Freiburg, which is up in Maine, which are big ones in the area. And they all have admission. They all have a lot of activities, but ours is free. I don't know of any other event that has so many activities, and it's free to the community. Free parking and free admission.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
So it is, we're pretty proud of that.
When does planning begin on something this big?
Well, because I've been involved for the past 4 years and this committee has been together for quite some time, we start in January, but we only meet once a month. Mm-hmm. And once we get everything set and if nothing really changes, then it's pretty much just kind of works by itself, as far as, people have already been in, they know the routine, entertainment, whether it's the vendors, food or general vendors, it kind of flows, and we try to tweak it to make it a little better every year. And so we don't have to meet as much because we got key people and we just all work together.
Well, the volunteers must be a huge
the volunteers.
asset.
Yes. Before we get into volunteers, though, I'd like to just talk a little bit about what we have for Thursday. We start off on Thursday at the Historical Society. I say we, it's part of Spirit of Somerset, but actually it's the American Legion that takes us on, and they have a wine and cheese. It's kind of a benefit for the Historical Society. Tickets are $15. You can still get them either at Town Hall or at the American Legion or at the Historical Society.
Oh, great.
But that is the Thursday before. The Friday before, we have Somerset Lions, which put on a lobster dinner, which they've been doing for many years. And once again, that's to benefit the Somerset Lions Club, which of course they do the eye research, and they also raise a lot of money for scholarships and such. So those tickets are $25, and they also have a lower price for a chicken dinner if you have somebody who doesn't want the lobster. Okay. And that's put on. Gary Simons does a great job in doing the food for that. So that's Friday, which then leads into Saturday.
The main event.
Yes, the main event. Do we want to talk about our donations first and our sponsors before I go into the event? Because I think that's just an important piece as
Right.
far as...
Without them, there is no event.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, without them, there is no event. I mean, this is funded pretty much 90% by donations by individuals and by businesses, mostly from in town.
Wow.
And I'd like to recognize our gold sponsors, which is 5,000 or more, which is Republic Services, which is the company that does trash hauling, and also this year Mechanics Cooperative Bank, which has given us $5,000 as our gold sponsor. We also have Fisher Bus and Fisher Company, Fisher Inc., Fisher Auto Body, which is a silver sponsor, which is 2,500 or more,
Great.
and also the Somerset Underwriters Insurance, which is headed by Brian Murphy and his group, which they handle all the insurance for this town, and they're a silver sponsor. And then we have tons of bronzes, and you name it, they're there. So.
And that goes a long way, like you said, to have it be a free event and to allow people to participate.
Yes, yes. I mean, 90% is funded through there. The other, some of it is funded by ourselves. We do have a fee now for the food vendors, and this year we have the most. We have 12 food vendors, so we would collect $1,200 to them. It's not a lot of money, but you know, if they're going to do something for the town and they're actually going to benefit for the event, I should say, then that's a minimum fee for them. And then we also do have some money that is appropriated through certain budgets, through the fire, police, and the highway, that are for town-run events. So there is some taxpayer money in there, but that has been the same for, like I said, for the Thanksgiving game parade detail there, and also detailing whatever they need for fire for the Music Town Festival. Any
Right.
town-run event, there are certain departments that handle that through their budget for a town-run event. So that pretty
Right.
much makes up all of it.
But where you said 90% of it comes from donations and such, I mean, I think that adds to just seeing how much work goes into an event like this, because soliciting donations, I know I've done it before for different events, isn't easy. So that adds to the work that your volunteers assist with, and that's wonderful.
Right, and that kind of leads us into the volunteers. I mean, we have tons of volunteers. From our committees, all volunteer, through the high school. You know, of course, they have to do community service. So we work with mostly the sports, and with Kim, and with, of course, Principal Ski. And so we do get a lot of help from them. Some of the church organizations come forth.
Nice.
And there are even some people just from the town who just want to volunteer and come and volunteer. So without those volunteers, we would have to pay somebody that would just jack up the cost. And, you know, so to keep this all flowing, it's donations and volunteers that really make up the big part of it. And we are
And
really
a lot of work.
Yeah, and, well, and a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is a lot of work. Absolutely. But we all enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Well, it's a
now I'm in
wonderful
Spirit of
event,
Somerset.
yeah.
Absolutely.
I know you need an updated shirt. Is that one from this year?
There's no date on it.
Oh, that one has no date?
No, it is. It does. There are some changes to it, though. I wonder if you can make any changes. It's not the soapbox derby anymore. It's a soapbox race.
Okay.
Because we got so big, you know, it is trademark, and I guess the president of the organization is out of Illinois, and they got wind of us, and they said we couldn't use the word derby. So
Okay.
we have changed that. The new ones will say soapbox race, and it's the car show has grown, and it's now the auto show because they have motorcycles, trucks, or whatever else. So they wanted to change it to the auto show.
Yeah, the auto show is going to be taking place at the Bluffs.
At the Bluffs, which is the top of South Street. It's beautiful up there. There will be parking. That's one of our parking spots. But yes, the auto show will be on Saturday, 10 to 4. It was going to be shorter because we were going to have helicopter rides, but the helicopter rides didn't work out, mainly because of the risk factor to the town. If anybody knows about what happened with that hot air balloon down in Dallas where 16 people perished, and the insurance that they carry for helicopters is the same. It's $100,000 million per incident,
Oh my
which
gosh.
is peanuts. And town of Somerset doesn't own any aircraft, so we don't have any backup insurance. So the Board of Selectmen, we have decided that it was not the best interest of the town to put them at risk, and that was the only reason why we don't have helicopters or rides. So now that was going to be up at the Bluffs.
Right.
So since we're not having that, we've extended the auto show. So that will be a big event up there. They will have some food vendors up there. They will have some entertainment up there. And they'll also have beer and wine up there as well, like they did last year. So.
And where the parking's there, you'll have a shuttle service?
Yes, we have a shuttle. I mean, this event has grown so that we have 2 shuttle buses.
Okay.
In which we'll be doing the loop around. It's going to be a little different this year. We are going to clear Main Street. Main Street from Church Street down to South Street is going to be no parking either side, and there will be actually no traffic going through there other than foot traffic and the train.
Okay.
The shuttle is going to come down Church Street. It's going to take a right on Main, and then it's going to go up School Street. So it'll stop at the bottom of School and Main, drop off the pedestrians, and then it's going to go up School Street, which will be closed, and then make it circuit around, because the other parking areas is Pierce's Beach and the Marsh. And after 5 will be the church parking lot, the St. Patrick's Church. They said we could use their parking lot after 5.
Mass, yeah.
So we have 2 shuttle buses running there. And the other thing I'd like to mention that will be new this year, because we have had the 2 shuttle buses in the past, is we do have a golf cart, a limo golf cart for people who need a little extra assistance,
Excellent.
handicap. And that will be at the Historical Society. So we'll take them down School Street, take a quick little right, left, down the ramp, and drop them off there, and just keep going back up and forth. So that'll be running continuously from 11 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night after
Great.
fireworks.
That's wonderful.
Nice.
That's an added thing. We did have some complaints, and just was brought to our attention that we really aren't.
Right.
That's
It's
a
a
steep.
steep hill.
That's a
That's a
steep
very
ramp.
steep
hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've taken care of that, and
Excellent.
that's what we got. And I'd like to say too, because as far as involvement, I'm real happy that Steve Monis, Selectman Monis, has volunteered to drive the golf cart,
Nice.
since he drives a big bus. But unfortunately, he has a wedding that day. So he told me he could do it, and then he just forgot that he had a wedding, so he won't be able to do that. But I wanted to thank him that he was going to give his services to drive the golf cart and help people. And also I'd like to mention, of course, my colleague, Selectman Holly McNamara, has also taken over for me the drawing and essay contest as one of the things she's going to be handling, and also helping out with the volunteers. But once again, it's people coming forth and wanting to help out, and I kind of like to give a little bit off because it's a lot. But
Yeah, that's great.
so it's nice that, like I said, we got more people working. Makes it easier for everybody.
Absolutely.
That's one of the benefits of running an event annually too, is you learn from what did work and what didn't work, and having the
Exactly.
golf cart this year is something you learned from your past years and then you corrected. So every
Right.
time you run an event, I think it can get
Yeah,
bigger, it can get
we
better.
get together afterwards. We always have a little party afterwards, and we always tweak it. And some people tell us what worked. I mean, what we definitely had to bring in was more porta johns, because the 2 bathrooms down there just didn't cut
Oh,
it.
no.
And so we have brought in more porta johns, and they'll even more this year because it's just that well attended. And then when you have a full bar down there and other drinks and so much good food, you need those services, but you don't realize it. It's kind of like you just never know.
About how many people you think come?
I have no idea, but I know last year when Chief McNeil was down there, and it was maybe an hour or so before the fireworks, he was a little nervous. He's like, David, I says, I don't know, there's just a lot of people here.
Oh yeah.
And I actually had a good feeling out of it. I was like, that's just great that there's so many. Even with the high school kids and everybody, we had no incident at all, which I'm very proud of. I think of our community and of course of our law enforcement and just the people involved. We got a lot of eyes down there. There's a lot of people who are involved. So if there was anything, it would be isolated or it would be taken care of quickly. But I don't know. Thousands maybe. I mean, because of our schedule of entertainment, and I learned this actually through Rick Olivera, which actually Rick Olivera's band is going to be playing this year. Rick Olivera, of course, is with WSAR. He's a good friend of mine. We used to do Forever Celebrates America. We used to take care of Kids World. I was on his board. And it was actually himself, myself, a few other people that came together with bringing in local entertainment will bring a lot of people to your event, and it works.
That's great.
It really does work. So, it's just hand in hand. If you want it to be a community event, then you should invite the community.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, we got so many dancing schools and karate schools, and we got Amy with Zumba. We got, of course, with the gymnastics, with the Olympics and stuff. We got Strive Gymnastics right here in town, Cindy and Ashley, who do a great job with their facilities. So they're going to be coming in. You might want to lead off. I have never met this young
Yep.
woman here, Dominique.
Dominique Domingo.
Yeah, I've never
She's
met her.
a rising star.
I hear she's like a world champion. She's got a good shot of going to Tokyo in 2020
The
for the Olympics, and so, you know.
I've met her through her father. Her father's a Somerset guy.
Yep.
And it's just amazing, like, to follow her, like, via Facebook, obviously. But she's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to meeting her. I say unfortunately, I mean, it works out well. The only time I had for her, because she was kind of late, when I got wind of her, somebody said, oh, there's this, local girl, and she's just phenomenal at doing judo. And I was like, okay, well, let's get her in. I mean, I love when we have local talent. And mostly, I try to go within first, That's always been the mission of our committee, is that we will always try, if there's a service or if there's something we need, we try to do it in-house. If we can't and we still need to fulfill that service, then of course we'll outreach and go out of town. So that's always our philosophy, which works. And I feel bad for this year for Bev Simcock, only because we had the ribbon cutting over at the ice cream cafe, which they bought out half pints.
Right.
Yep.
And they mentioned to me that they wanted to get involved. So I was like, okay. And I was just thinking in my head, that means I got to kick out Bev, which I love Bev. She's a good friend of mine. She is still going to do the auto show.
Oh, good.
But Ice Cream Cafe will be providing ice cream stuff for the
Excellent.
Spirit of Somerset.
Wonderful.
She understood that, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, we got to keep
They
things
do
straight.
have Somerset ties.
Yes, they do. Of course, yeah.
My grandmother,
I know.
my grandmother's a Simcock.
Oh, is it really?
Really?
Oh, I didn't. Well, I know her parents still live in town.
Yep.
I know she's a Somerset girl, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, her business is located in Swansea,
Yeah.
and I got to keep it that way because we've had so many people come forth and want to be part of it as a general vendor, and we just can't because we will just be blown. We don't have the room,
Right.
and it's just going to go against kind of what we're trying to work for here.
Sure.
So, what else we want to talk about? We want to stay on the entertainment for a little while. I mean,
Yeah, if we could talk
Yeah.
about the entertainment and maybe some of the booths if you want.
Yeah,
Where people can see the schedule online.
the schedule's online. It's still on the Facebook page. You do not have to have an account to Facebook. Just go Facebook. Facebook/Spirit of Somerset.
Yeah.
And you can get on the Facebook page without having an account. We do have a website, and it is going to be up for next year, which will be a lot easier for people to navigate, even vendors that want to become a vendor. You want to find out about the soapbox races. I mean, there is so much to this event. We could talk for hours, but so right now the Facebook page is a little bit sporadic, and you might have to look for some of the information if you want to find it. But most of everything is up on our Facebook page, as well as the entertainment schedule. We do have entertainment from 10:30 in the morning till it's going to end right after the fireworks, which should be around 10:15, 10:20. And in between, we have all local entertainment as far as we can, all the dancing schools, karate schools. Like I mentioned, the Zumba. We have Wiggle Kids coming in this year that we brought
nice.
in. Kim Ferrara does a great job with that. We have a few bands. We got the Ray Muller Music All-Star Band. And we also have the Right Note Band, which has a lot of Somerset students in it.
Oh, cool.
They're coming in and they're performing, and times are there. We still have the Blessing of the Fleet. We have George Lyons, which is a Frank Sinatra singer, and I swear, I know this guy, and if you don't look at him, you swear it's Old Blue Eyes singing. He's so good.
Nice.
He also sings Bobby Darin and Dean Martin. So he'll be on at 5:45 singing for an hour. We have a glow party. That's going to be last year was a big hit. We have those glow batons the kids get to keep, or adults. We'll be giving them away. We got a lot of them to give away, and they're LED. You can put the light on. They do different things, and
fun.
the kids. And of course, I'll be getting them all riled up with some music and stuff. I'd also like to say that we have DJ Jonathan Berube, who is my cousin, who is well known in town. I've been trying to get him for years because not only can he DJ, but he can also MC, bring his music and his lighting,
Awesome.
and I don't have to take care of it. So I'm glad that he's going to be here
The
with
kids
us
love
this year.
DJ John.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
just a great guy. And plus I work really well with him because I've worked with him for many, many years. And then our highlight band is Front and Center, which this is a cool cover band that does all the casinos. I've seen these guys many times. So they have costume changes, they dance,
Awesome.
and they play everything from Motown up to Bruno Mars. So
For people who haven't been before, should they bring lawn chairs? Is there seating there?
we have plenty of seating. We have 400 chairs we can fit 400 people. We have turf that we bring in. Teamworks donates their old turf that they just allow us to bring in. So we roll out turf in front of the stage so kids can sit down. Demonstrations, a lot are done on the turf, so it's nice instead of doing it on the parking lot. So they really don't need to bring anything. We have a huge tent, and we have picnic tables underneath it for the food if they want to eat. There's chairs. The timing of the day is great because we still got the leaves on the trees, so that we get shade most of the time after 1, 2 o'clock. It really kind of, so it's pretty well shaded. We've had great weather in the past. So you don't need to bring anything except a little bit of money for food.
Excellent.
Because we do have the boat rides, which are free this year. Next year, I was this close to getting the high-speed Block Island Ferry. I've been talking about that for the past couple of years. Now that our new boat ramp is finally done and renovated, and they pushed it out onto deeper water, and I've talked to Nick King over at Bristol Marine. He said, David, I'll work with you guys to float down some bigger docks. So next year, we may have the high-speed ferry, which will be able to take more people and go further to go all the way to the Battleship Cove and come back.
Awesome.
So that's something that I want to work on for next year for the event. What else do we want to talk about? I mean, there's all kinds of things. We have a monkey pole. We got the petting zoo back. We got Teamworks back, which has bouncies, dodgeball, face painting. We have temporary tattoos coming in this year. I forgot the name of the company. They're local. They're in Somerset. I'm sorry, but I forgot their name. But they are going to do temporary tattoos at the Teamworks booth.
Excellent.
We got AJ, the balloon guy, comes in and does balloons and stuff for all the kids.
And tons of food vendors, local food vendors.
Yes, yep, local food vendors. I'd like to talk a little bit about them because we have the most we've ever had, and it's great to see that there are local vendors or people that want to come forth. One is comes to mind is the Somerset Fire Department. They've wanted to do this chili cook-off thing in the past, but they're not doing that this year. They're going to do chorizo and peppers and strawberry shortcake. Yeah. And that's headed by Mark Pavo. He's going to head his guys. They got a booth. We got the American Legion, once again, with Steve Souza and his whole gang, going to be doing a full bar. There will be bracelets. You will have to show an ID, but all the money goes and benefits the veterans. So this is a win-win for everybody. Much needed money to the veterans and the great job they're doing with the American Legion and such. Chad's Chowder House is going to do all the fried food this year, so clam cakes and stuff. Unfortunately, Gary Simons did it in the past, but he just had a double booking or too many bookings and couldn't do it this year. So, Chad, we're glad that Sharon and her group is coming in. We got Gus's Pizza again coming in. Somerset Lions this year is new. They're doing sausage and pepper subs. Smith School of Dance, which is my wife, is just doing cotton candy. The county fair is doing hot dogs. Somerset Rec Department is doing hamburgers. Dell's Lemonade is in with lemonade and popcorn. The Ice Cream Cafe, of course, is in with ice cream. The Somerset Berkeley Regional High School Boosters Club is doing all the drinks as far as non-alcoholic. And then Little Audrey's is doing the clam boil.
Wow. She
did a great job last year. And also, you need to go to her because if you pre-purchase your clam boil ticket, it's $20. The day of the event, it's going to be $25. Okay. And she has a limited supply of clam boils. So if you do want a clam boil, go see Little Audrey's. They're on Reed Street, whatever the address is. Everybody should know where Little Audrey's is. Purchase a ticket before the event. It's $20. The day of the event will be $25.
And then just bring your tickets that day and
just bring
your
ticket. Yeah, and great. She'll actually even give you a time. She's doing some times. So if you want to go in, she'll be starting serving at 12 noon too. In the past, it used to start at 4 and 4 to 7. But now she's got it down pat, and she wants to start at 12 o'clock. So if somebody wants to have lunch as a clam boil, and you want to have it 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, which will be nice because that way that you can kind of plan, go down, and it's manageable for her, and you can know that you're going to have your your clam boil at a certain time and not have to wait. Mm-hmm. So we're real excited about that. The most food vendors we've ever had. I want to bring in the Somerset Economic Development Committee because I know Shannon, you and your dad and your committee has been working really hard and doing a lot of things. I've been going to a lot of ribbon cuttings. It's great to see new businesses coming in or moving and still operating in Somerset. But I want to thank you guys for handling the boat rides because we've wanted to kind of make that a little bit more mainstreamed and a little bit more. I just hated when I was on stage and I seen this huge line of people trying to go for a boat ride and they're waiting there for an hour and a half. So we're going to look like a ticket pass in Disney. So there's 45 passengers to the boat. Mm-hmm. So every hour you'll have 45 tickets, free tickets that the Somerset Economic Development Committee's tent is going to hand out. And you guys are going to coordinate that. Mm-hmm. But people have to come. Don't come thinking one person on 84. No, whoever they have is basically what you're going to get. Right. So if you got 2 people, you better have 2 people. And that's all you're going to give them. Because people are just going to collect them. And then, so they will be free. We will have a fill-in line. So anybody who doesn't get on or if they're late or whatever, then we're going to fill them in so that we have a full boat going out.
Great.
He's only going to do so many trips. Mm-hmm. But I want to thank you guys for taking that on. And once again, working with us to make it a little better.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Thank you. I know we've missed a lot, but is there anything else we want to talk? Because
We want to talk all about the soapbox derby. And
Okay,
can people
sure.
still be making
Soapbox race?
the soapbox race? Exactly, that's what it
Yeah,
said.
we got to change that. That's just the race, just so legal. That's all we need. You know, start. Yeah, we have registrations going on. You can either go to Barry Fontaine. And that's another nice thing. I'm really glad that Barry Fontaine came in and is taking over the soapbox races with Jameson Souza, working with Bonnie Menzies at the library, and also with Paula Ramos at the
great.
town hall. So amongst everybody, George Gagier is involved. He's the main guy with that. But they can sign up at Recreation or at the library.
Okay,
We
great.
still have some kits available. They are going to do another workshop. That starts off early in the morning. I think registration's like 8 or 9 o'clock. I mean, all that's online.
They can register the day of the race.
I believe so. They believe so. I'm not really. That's one of those things that I let somebody else totally. I don't even get a chance to go up there, but I guess this year I have to, since I am chairman of the Board of Selectmen. It's always been customary and traditional that I do the first flag, so I got to run up there for 9 o'clock when it starts. I believe they can register that day, but I would check with the rec department, Barry, for any questions,
Great.
because I'm not all that up on that. Is there something we didn't touch upon? Somebody's gonna read me real bad. Like, David, you forgot this.
What about me?
Well, while you're thinking about something else, I just wanted to touch upon, if you wouldn't mind, too.
Sure.
You mentioned the Economic Development Committee has a tent, and I do ask people to come by, not just for your boat tickets, but we also are collecting from Somerset businesses merchandise, business cards, menus, coupons, and other pieces of promotional materials to use it as a way of promoting and recognizing our local businesses. So swing by our tent to pick up. We're going to have, we have donations from Walgreens. We have reusable shopping bags that we're filling with all kinds of Somerset business paraphernalia. And also in conjunction with the Spirit of Somerset, we ran an event this summer where residents could vote on their top 10 favorite Somerset businesses. And those ballots have all been tallied now. We actually received 855 individual votes for 147 different businesses. So the top 10 will be announced at the Spirit of Somerset, and it's also going to be in the Spectator. George Austin's agreed to print the top 10 in the Spectator. So again, on the Economic Development Committee, one of the things I focus on is promoting our existing commercial taxpayers. And so this was just a way of kind of recognizing businesses and showing them how much they're appreciated in town.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, the other thing we didn't mention the fireworks, because of course we have fireworks, so I mean that's going to go off around quarter of 10, and then the event will be done. There will be a couple of buses by Fisher Bus to bring people back to the parking areas, because there's such a mad exodus of people. But it's just a great event. It is a lot of work, but it is just great to see everybody have such a good time. I mean, everybody in their life, no matter where you are, most of the time, obviously, if they are having a situation that might not be the best for them, whether they've lost somebody or a financial problem, it's always great to know that you have something to look forward to that's just going to be a fun event. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's just total fun, people coming together, and just seeing the smiles on everybody's faces, and just the energy that's there, and the great food that we have. I mean, it's just a combination of just a great party.
That's great.
And it's all done up by Somerset people, and I'm glad that I'm a part of it, and everybody's a part of it, and that we can all come together and just all be on the same page. And I really want to compliment all our departments. Every single one of them that come together and work, whether it's the water department to let us borrow their light station for the light. Of course, the highway department does a great job down there. The police, the fire, even the school department, allowing us to get in there with the essay and drawing contest, and being a part of it. The rec department, it's just great. Every department is
It's a true
involved.
Community event.
Yes.
And it's a good thing to be able to show off the new boat ramp.
Exactly,
Oh, yeah.
right. Well, that's the topic of the essay and drawing contest this year, is the Taunton River. I figured that would be a good topic because I knew the boat ramp was going to be done. Also envisioning Somerset, that great thing that Ginny Troutman did at the high school with the pictures and that grant they got. We actually purchased one of them. So it's all bait, and a lot of the photos were involving the Taunton River. And it is a federally recognized wild and scenic water source. So it was all, it all ties in. That's our community.
Absolutely.
Everybody tying together, working together, and being positive, and trying to make this community the best it can be is what everybody's mission should be. And 99% of us are all on that mission, and it's great. It's great to have that. So.
I know my family, for one, looks forward to it every year, so I really want to thank you for the work that you and your committee and your volunteers do, because it is appreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent job.
Thank you. Look forward to many more.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all for watching. We need to come together as a town. We need to collaborate to move forward. We need to help keep each other informed so we can make educated decisions for our town. Please reach out to us if you have any ideas, input, or guest ideas for the show. We'd love to hear from you. Just visit our website, somersetroundtable.com, or you can email us at info@somersetroundtable.com.